Yo, what's up? Time for some wisdom of the day. And this time, this is going to be from your favorite of all time. Really, he's not. This is something Jesus says in the book of Luke. Someone must have mentioned to Luke this happened, this parable, because Luke never was one. He was the only gospel that's not an eyewitness. But he said, I got the eyewitnesses and I made the report to compile all the stuff. That's why there's so much original stuff in Luke. I believe this parable included. All right. Also, Jesus, he spoke this parable to some who trusted in themselves, that they were righteous and despised others. That's what it says. Also, he, Jesus, spoke this parable to some who trusted in themselves, that they were righteous and despised others. Sound familiar, Christian? Two men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, God, I thank you that I am not like other men, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this tax collector. I fast twice a week, I give tithes of all that I possess. And the tax collector, standing afar off, would not so much as raise his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified, rather than the other. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. So the one guy prayed to God, thanking him that he's not like other men, the extortioners, the unjust adulterers, or even this tax collector. He fasts twice a week, gives tithes of all that he possesses. So great, right? That was his prayer. But the other guy who went to the temple to pray was a tax collector, standing, he would not so much as raise his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. That sounds like a legit relationship. So that's why Jesus says, I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. He even asked, for everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. I have heard it said you can be a first-class passenger. You don't want to just be like some Christian lame-o like secular gang. You want to be a first-class passenger like me. But that person is such a complete and utter failure of a hypocrite. At least when I understood him, like at that point in time. I hope all worked out in that instance, but that person would know who I speak of, and I tell you, like, no, you got to put yourself last, not first. And like, they seem to like nice stuff. I don't know. Just complete, like, shouldn't be like that. No, you should be a humble scumbag, but you're like the best at that. You're the most pious all the Christians want to be like. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, Weird Al's onto something with some of those sentiments. That's your wisdom of the day. Jesus. Parable of Pharisee and the tax collector. All right.